bhagavato arahato samma sambuddhassa. Namo tassa bhagavato arahato samma sambuddhassa. Namo tassa bhagavato arahato samma sambuddhassa. Good evening, everyone. Today this will be the last lesson for Nibbana. And I think we have to, in some places, we will run through because it may not be enough time. Because I think you already learned what is Nibbana. So now today I want to touch on the synonyms of Nibbana. Synonyms of Nibbana. Actually, in my note, I collect 55 synonyms of Nibbana. So they are another names for Nibbana. So the Buddha and his disciples express their blissful experience of Nibbana in many ways, using different terms. So they explain Nibbana, their experience, by using negative or positive terms. So the definition of Nibbana very often explained in negative terms. For that reason, we have many terms that are synonymous with the Nibbana, the word Nibbana. Mostly, I take it from Abhidhana Patipika, a Pali dictionary written in 12th century AD. So it collects 46 terms that are synonymous with the word Nibbana. So actually the ancient dictionary, Pali dictionary, Abhidhamma Patipika, written in 12th century AD, on to say gather synonyms of Nibbana, 56. So actually, based on that, I will explain what is the definition of Nibbana. Actually, most of you already learned what is Nibbana is. So there are also many other terms that are not mentioned in ancient dictionary. So they are also a synonyms of Nibbana. Right now, I collect 55 synonyms, but they are not all. There are many other terms as well. Anyway, so if you know a few of them, I think you understand the definition of Nibbana. The translation of those terms are mostly taken from two Pali English dictionary. One's written by T.W. Reed Davis. As you all know, that is the chairman of the founder of Pali Society. So he wrote Pali English dictionaries. Another one is a concise Pali English dictionary written by A.P. Bodhidharma. So translations are taken from those two dictionaries. So the first one is Nibbana. Of course, we'll start with the Nibbana. Nibbana simply means extinction of fires or extinguishment of fires. So that is the definition of Nibbana. It all the fire is extinguished, so you experience the bliss of Nibbana. So that is a clear and the main definition of the word Nibbana. So we have 11 fires, right? That is mentioned in Fire Sermon, Arita Priyaya Sutta. So actually among them, Lopa, Dosa, Moha. So these are main fires. So if we can extinguish Lopa, Dosa, Moha, so you will experience the bliss of Nibbana. That is definition of Nibbana. Nibbana is mentioned in the commentaries as a Nirvana, departure from craving. Actually, another definition using a grammatical root, Nirvana, if you can depart from craving, you attain Nibbana. The same thing. So I think if you want to know what is Nibbana, I think just take note the first one, extinction of fires or extinguishment of fires. Actually, it's a very easy term, very easy term. The fires are very hot in our mind, not at peace, if those fires exist in our mind. So the more you can extinguish those fires, the more you experience the bliss or Nibbana. Another one is Nibbudi. Nibbudi is another name, synonym of Nibbana, peace, happiness, or the final bliss. So if you can extinguish all fires, you will experience the bliss. That is called Nibbudi. Nibbudi is another name for Nibbana. To talk about fire metaphor, then I will use one sutta that we have already learned, Upadana Sutta. Upadana, clinging. The Buddha said, suppose bhikkhus, a great bonfire was burning. Fire was burning, consuming 10, 20, 30, 40 loads of wood, and a man were not cast drying grass, were not cast drying grass or drying condom or drying wood into it from time to time. A man will not put any fuel. Thus, when the former supply of fuel is exhausted, that great bonfire, not being fed with any more fuel, lacking sustenance, will be extinguished. So that is the meaning of Nibbana, extinguished. Nibbāyeya. Prit-nibbāyeya, the same thing. Nibbāyeya, extinguished. So too, when one lives contemplating danger in things that can be clung to, craving cease. But here, things that can be clung to, that means fire aggregate or 6 sin species, wherever you call it. Anything that can be clung to, craving cease. With the cessation of craving comes cessation of clinging, upadana. With the cessation of clinging, cessation of existence. With the cessation of existence, cessation of birth. Cessation of birth, cessation of aging and death, sorrow, lamentation, despair, etc. All these, the whole mass of suffering cease. That is Nibbana. So Nibbana can be experienced in this very life. So if we can extinguish 3 fires, Lopa, Dosa, Moha, you can experience the bliss of Nibbana in this very life. So that is definition of Nibbana. Nibbana, Nibbudi. Nibbana talk about using negative ways. Nibbudi, a positive way. So if you can extinguish fires, Nibbana, then you you experience the bliss or peaceful bliss or Nibbana, Nibbudi. Another one is Nibbana Dhatu, the element of Nibbana. This one also we have learned. So this one is not mentioned both in the Pali commentary, Pali dictionary, and Asinkata Sanyota. So actually, we will collect synonyms of Nibbana from two sources, from Pali dictionary written in 12th century AD. Another one is from Asinkata Sanyota, and from many other places elsewhere from Pali, from the Pali canon. So the word Nibbana Dhatu is not mentioned in the ancient Pali dictionary, and also it is not mentioned in Asinkata Sanyota. But we have one sutta called Nibbana Dhatu in Idiotaka. It shows two types of Nibbana Dhatu. Number one, the Nibbana element with the residue remaining. So while you are living, you experience Nibbana element with the residue. Then second one is Nibbana element with the residue remaining. So when you die, do you experience the bliss of Nibbana? So we have learned in the Idiotaka. Regarding with the Nibbana element, we have another sutta from Samdha Nikaya. Then one of the monks asked the Buddha, Venerable Sir, it is said the removal of lust, the removal of hatred, the removal of delusion. Or what now, Venerable Sir, is this designation? So the Buddha said, this bhikkhu is a designation of the element of Nibbana. The removal of lust, the removal of hatred and delusion. This is a designation of the element of Nibbana. So Nibbana element means if you do not have lust, hatred and delusion, you experience the elements of Nibbana. That's called Nibbana Dhatu. Nibbana Dhatu. Next one. Up to now, question? Any question? I think, okay, question.
Bhante, is it true that a lay person who has attained Nibbana must enter the Sangha 7 days? If not, he will pass away. Is it true?
Oh, yeah. Actually, it is stated in the commentary, not taught by the Buddha. So I think...
Why so? May I know what's the reason that a lay person cannot be an Arahant for more than 7 days?
Very good question. The reason is if we study commentary literatures, and we can find that someone who became Arahant died within 7 days. In the commentary literatures, the Buddha father, Sodorana, died before 7 days, and also the minister called one of the minister of the king Kosala. And he also died after becoming Arahant. He also died before 7 days. So I think looking at all these instances, examples, the commentary make a conclusion that if someone become Arahant, must enter Bodhisasana, must become monks or nuns. Otherwise, they will die within 7 days. So this is a conclusion of commentaries. So actually, for me, I will give a very reasonable one. for those who became arahant, whether men or women, there's no point to stay as a lay person. Definitely they will become monks or nuns. They will be ordained as a monks or nuns because they cannot stay among the people because they will be totally different from lay people. So that is, I think, a reasonable reason. I think a good reason to say that for those who become arahant, where become renunciants as in monks or nuns. So actually, I think that is not truth. It's not true. They die just because they do not become a monks or nuns. They die because of their lifespan. They're supposed to die at that lifespan. But commentary, this statement from the commentary is so strong, very strong that traditional, how to say, the monks, they believe. Also, among the people also, it is widespread. They die not just because of enlightenment, becoming arahant. They die because they're supposed to die at that age. So I think it's not reasonable, The Buddha didn't say anything about it. The Sutta didn't say anything about it. It's commentary literatures. But of course, I have a great respect to the commentaries, because without commentaries, in some places, very difficult to understand. But we shouldn't blindly believe commentary explanations. So I think in this case, I don't believe it is not reasonable, to say that if someone became arahant, they die within 7 days. It's really, I want to say, not reasonable, I don't agree commentary explanation in this regard. Okay, question.
Bhante, I think it's mentioned that the mother of Buddhas, after birth, they die within 7 days. Not only for the present, even the previous Buddhas. So does it mean that also the expiry of their lifespan in that respect?
Yeah, we can say so. But when Prince Siddhartha, when he entered mother's womb, he chose, the right mother and the right place. Of course, according to commentary, according to Mahanidana Sutta from Nidana Samyutta, not commentary, according to Mahanidana Sutta. So the mother were dying after he was born, Bodhisattva. Of course, this is a even Mahanidana Sutta scholar question, the authenticity of the Sutta. Scholar, there are many scholars, question that Sutta, even that Sutta. So I think what I want to say is some of the Suttas, how to say, enter Pali Canon in later time. So what I'm including this case, mother were dying 7 days. So I think we sidetracked. I think any question regarding with the Nibbana? No Nibbana. Okay, let it be. Okay, the question that are connected with the Nibbana. Because we have to go 55 synonyms. Over there. This one is not working.
Bhante, this is regarding the authenticity when you are using current dictionaries. to explain the terminology of the synonyms of Nibbana.
Yeah.
Why do you need that if you have the suttas to explain?
Good. Yeah. Actually, I will quote the suttas when I explain, in certain terms, so which are synonyms of the Nibbana. I do not blindly follow dictionary. I will quote some of the places. Okay, good question. Okay, so the next one. Thank you for the question. But of course, this is a Pali dictionary written in 12th century AD. But normally, Pali dictionary is a collect all the terms. So that are synonyms of Nibbana. And also in some of the places, the synonym of Buddha, Buddha, the Tathagata, like this. There are many terms. So based on that dictionary, I will collect synonyms of Nibbana. But at the same time, I will use the sutta to prove that. Here is dukkha nidora, cessation of suffering. But here I will quote the first sermon of the Buddha, Dhammacakkappavattana Sutta. So we already learned that. The Buddha said, "Now these bhikkhus is the noble truth of cessation of suffering, dukkha nidora. It is the remainder fading away and cessation of that same craving, the giving up and relinquishing of it, freedom from it, and non-reliance on it." So this is called dukkha nidora. Dukkha nidora is very beautiful term that talk about Nibbana. Nibbana is the cessation of suffering. People do not like the word suffering, dukkha. But if you attain Nibbana, all these dukkha will cease, will stop. Very beautiful term, right? Very beautiful term. So this is from Dhammacakkappavattana Sutta. This is from another Sutta, from Nibbedika Sutta from Anguttara Nikaya. And the Buddha said, and what is cessation of suffering? What is dukkha nidora? With the cessation of craving, there is cessation of suffering. If there is no craving, that will be cessation of suffering. If you can extinguish all type of craving, that is cessation of suffering. So this one also another name for Nibbana. Another one is dukkha, extinction of suffering or cessation of suffering, the same thing, only different in terms of letter. So dukkha, extinction of suffering. If craving is uprooted, all miseries and sufferings are extinguished. That is called Nibbana. If there's no craving, that's Nibbana. In other words, it's called extinction of suffering. Then if you have a question, just raise your hand. Huh? Question connected with Nibbana. Because we have to go run through. Next one is Tanakaya, destruction of craving. Same thing, right? Same thing. If you can destroy all your craving, you attain Nibbana, destruction of craving. Next one is Nidora, cessation. Nidora. It refers to the cessation of suffering and the cessation of craving. Nidora means dukkha nidora, tanakaya. So cessation of suffering. In other words, cessation of craving. That is Nibbana. That's another name for Nibbana. Next one is Analeya. Analeya or Analeyo, non-reliant on craving. If there is no craving, Nibbana, Analeya. Bhikkhu body translate non-reliant on craving. And A.P. Bodhidharma, the one who is the monks who wrote Concept Pali Dictionary, free from attachment. Next one, Moti. Freedom from craving. Bhikkhu body. Amasa Ritibis, release or emancipation. If you don't have craving, you release from suffering. If you understand the definition of Nibbana, all these terms, in one way or another, it explains the definition of Nibbana from different directions, from different dimensions. Moti means freedom from craving. Both terms, Analeya, Moti, are used when the third noble truth is explained in the first sermon. I use the sodas to confirm, this is a truth. Analeya, Moti. Another one is Vimoti. This is a very famous, very often, we find very often found this one. Liberation or freedom or deliverance or final release. It's a very beautiful term that talk about Nibbana. Then I will use one soda from Majjhima Nikaya, Mahasachaka soda. So in that soda, the Buddha talk about how he became the Buddha. Then I very often explain, first he attained 4 jhana. Then after attaining jhana, he attained on the recollection of his previous birth, Pobenivasanosati, the knowledge of recollection of previous birth. So he remember his past lives, many past lives, billions of countless past lives. Then he attained second jhana, second knowledge, the knowledge of divine I, Devachaku. And not only he recollect not only his past life, but also past life of many people. How they go to heaven, why? They go to hell, why? Some are beautiful, why? Some are poor, why? Like this. So this is a karma, right? According to their karma. In other words, it is called yatha karmupakanyana, the knowledge of karma according to yatha karmupakanyana. The knowledge of birth and rebirth according to the karma. Some people were born beautiful according to karma, and ugly according to the karma, and rich, poor according to their karma. So this is the second knowledge, the knowledge of divine I. And the last one is the distraction of taints, distraction of all defilements. So that is called the less knowledge. Then after achieving 3 knowledge, then he became the Buddha. So this is from Mahasachaka Soda. Knowing this, seeing this, that means the Buddha knew 4 noble truths after recollecting his previous birth and also the existence or the life of other beings who are going around samsara according to their karma. Then after that, he have a recollection of Four Noble Truth. The knowing this, seeing this, my heart was liberated from the taints of the sensual desire, the first one, and from the taints of existence, and from the taints of ignorance. So that we have a three type of taints. So the Buddha mind, the mind of the Buddha, Prince Siddhartha, is liberated from those taints. There's no more taints. There's no sensual desire. There's no desire for existence. There's no ignorance. Then he became the Buddha. So here, the Buddha used the word vimutta, liberated from. When it is liberated from the three taints, there came the knowledge, it is liberated. Vimutta samain, vimutta miti, jnanan ahosi. Here, vimutta. The noun form of vimutta is called vimoti. So vimoti is another name for Nibbana. Actually, here, vimutta is an adjective. Its noun is vimoti. So vimoti is another synonym of Nibbana. So here we have a vimoti jnana darsana, the knowledge and vision of liberation. Vimoti. The knowledge and vision of liberation. If someone mind is liberated from the taints, so he or she themselves realize the knowledge and vision of liberation. But here what I want to say is the word vimoti is another name for Nibbana. Vimoti means liberation or freedom. Freedom from negative mental state. If someone takes Nibbana, he or she does not have any negative mental states, any defilements. That's called vimoti. His mind is liberated. Okay, question?
Bhante,
Yeah.
your explanation of this particular sutta coming directly from Buddhas
Yeah.
is so much more authentic, if you like, than the other synonyms that you have quoted, like the one before.
Yeah.
You know, where it is taken from obviously the dictionary. I presume that this particular explanation that you have given of Mahasa Chakka Sutta is a direct translation, if you like, from you.
No, actually, vimoti also mentioned in the Pali dictionary.
Yeah.
But also, it is also mentioned in Asankata Samyutta. Of course, this is authentic.
The previous synonym that you quoted, which was
Yeah.
uti, and you had two different explanations from Bhikkhu Bodhi and also from Rice Davis,
Yeah.
using different English terms,
Yeah, you're right.
emancipation and freedom.
Yeah.
You know, I think it may, as a layperson, then there may be confusion just purely out of the use of these terms, this English terminology.
Yeah.
Whereas, as you have explained, this Mahachakka Sutta
Yeah.
is beautiful.
Yeah,
It's
you're right.
beautiful because it's as Buddha taught,
Yeah.
and it's not an interpretation of somebody else.
But this one also translated by Bhikkhu Bodhi. But of course, what I want to show is I choose I think the closest terms, the closest English term, because I know Pali, I know what it means, but sometimes for me the problem with the English language, then I try my very best to use a relevant English translation. If I'm not satisfied with the translation of Begubori or translation of Bodhadatta Mathera and also Repis, I choose my own one. In some of the places, you may not find reference who translated. That's my choice. Okay, this one is very beautiful. Okay, question here. Because these lines can be found in many suttas. Many suttas. Okay.
Thank you, Bhante. I read some of the sutta.
Yeah.
I think it's Samyutta Sutta. Talk about some Sangha member who is very sick. They took their life, and
Yeah.
Buddha say they are brainless, not brain. So is that also mean that they also attain Nibbana in a way?
Yeah, actually, there are many occasions, many stories. The monks commit suicide, and actually, the worry of other brother monks is whether they attain liberation or whether they attain Nibbana. But normally, the Buddha say, if they attain Nibbana, the Buddha used the word blamelessness. So blamelessly, and they enter their life. But in some of the Puthojana, some of the worldlings, they took their life, and the Buddha blamed, no, not to do that. And that we have a, if someone commit their suicide, and the Buddha does not encourage to do so. But of course, there are some stories that the monks, one of them is so the monk Gaudika, and he occasionally attained jhana. Then he has a very severe diseases. Then the moment he attained jhana, that disease came in, and he dropped from the jhana. Then he tried again and dropped again because of his disease, terminal disease. Then for 7 times, he did that. So why I was dropping from the jhana, sorry, not jhana, temporary liberation, temporary samayika, temporary liberation, not jhana. So if I'm all the time dropping from this attainment of temporary liberation, then I may go around samsara. He doesn't like samsara. Then he decided to commit suicide. The moment he attained temporary liberation for 7 times, then according to commentary, he contemplated the pain in his neck. Then he practiced insight meditation based on the pain. Pain arises and passes away. Pain arises and passes away. There is no clinging to his body. There is no clinging to even the pain. Then, because of removing clinging, upadana, to anything, his consciousness cannot establish anywhere. That means attain Nibbana. And the Buddha said that his consciousness does not establish anywhere. Blamelessly. Of course, that meant temporary liberation, or temporary liberation means liberation from negative mental state. Okay, so then I want to use more sutta to talk about vimukti. This is very beautiful terms. In Anatta Lakkhana Sutta, and the Buddha, after teaching the first sermon, a group of 5 monks, Panchavaggiya, they became Sotapanna. And the Buddha teach another Lakkhana Sutta, the doctrine of non-self. So this is a second discourse of the Buddha. It is very important. It talk about non-self, theory of non-self. There's no permanent entity. Five aggregate are impermanent. Therefore, they are suffering. Therefore, they are not safe, non-safe. So at the end of the second discourse, all the five monks, they became arahant. So actually, how do we know they became arahant? The discourse, second discourse, in depth with this one, this line. When the Buddha expounded Anatta Lakkhana Sutta, second discourse, the mind here, the mind, or the group of five monks were liberated from vimodhi, the taints by non-clinging. That's a very important one. So their mind were liberated from taints by non-clinging. If you do not cling to anything, your mind is liberated. Even if not Nibbana, it can be temporary liberation or momentary liberation. No? What we learn, Tathanga Nibbana, temporary Nibbana. If we do not cling to anything, even to our body, by that time, then our mind is liberated from taints or negative mental state. Our mind is liberated from defilements. So here, liberated, vimoda. Pancha vakiyanam bhikkhunan nupadaya aswe chaitani vimochensu. Vimodhi. So actually, the word vimodhi, liberation from negative mental state. Currently, I'm in teaching, you are learning the Dhamma. Currently, our mind are liberated from negative mental state. At least we attain temporary liberation, right? Temporary liberation. Then I want to use one more I want to say line from Vinaya Pitaka. So Vinaya Pitaka in Chulavaka Pali, the Buddha talk about 8 wonders of Bodhisasana. 8 wonders of Bodhisasana. This is one of them. And the Buddha said, even monks at the great ocean has one taste, only one taste, the taste of salt. Even so, monks, that's this Dhamma and discipline. This Bodhisasana has only one taste, the taste of liberation, the taste of vimodhi. This monks is the 6th wonder from constantly having seen, which monks delight in this Bodhisasana, Dhamma and discipline. There's only one taste. The Buddha attained enlightenment and he experienced the bliss of Nibbana, liberation of the mind. And you attain enlightenment, you attain Nibbana, you will also experience the bliss of Nibbana, the same as the Buddha. The liberation, the taste of liberation is not different. Whether the Buddha or you, this is one of the wonders of the Bodhisasana. If you want to become the Buddha, you can fulfill perfections or parami, right? Anyone can become the Buddha. So there is only one taste, that is the taste of liberation. If your mind is liberated from negative mental state, then you will experience the bliss of Nibbana. In other words, liberation. Okay, I think for this time, very beautiful, and I like it very much. Next one is mokkha. moksha. In Sanskrit, is moksha. Freedom from, liberation, deliverance, final release, or salvation. Translated by Mr. Rick Davis. Actually, freedom or liberation. Actually, the word vimoti, the word moksha, the same. But of course, different in terms of letter. It is very often used in regard to release from 5 hindrances the moment we attain jhanas. So we use the word moksha. Moksha. Bandhana mokkha yatha. Actually, when you attain jhana, you are liberated. Your mind is liberated from hindrances. You attain temporary liberation regarding with moksha. But of course, when you attain nibbana, your mind is totally liberated from negative mental state or hindrances. Moksha in Oxford Dictionary. Actually, this one, the word moksha, became the word in the dictionary. Moksha is the final goal of Hindus and Jains. Oxford Dictionary defines the word moksha as follows. Number 1, in Hinduism and Jainism, release from cycle rebirth impaired by the law of karma. As a Hindu, as a Jain, if you can exhaust your karma, if you can purify your karma, your soul, then you reunite with the super soul or with the Brahma or God. So in that way, you no longer go around samsara. So that is their belief. That's called moksha or liberation. So liberation from samsara. So after you attain moksha or liberation, then your soul will reunite with the God. And you were born in the abode of the God. But with regard to for Buddhists, then you can experience the liberation of the mind in this very life. When you die as a arahant, that's all, no more, nothing, even no soul, even no soul, non-self. Nibbana also, non-self. But second definition, that transcendent state attained as a result of being released from cycle of rebirth. Then we can use this one. Of course, we can Nibbana also. When you release from cycle of rebirth, then you attain final Nibbana. Final Nibbana. So the difference between the moksha, liberation, between Buddhism and Jainism and Hinduism, Buddhism, you can experience the bliss of liberation, the bliss of Nibbana in this very life. But regarding with the Jainism and Hinduism, you have to experience after you die. After you die, you still have a soul. For that reason, they believe soul theory. Sabbe dhamma anattati. All phenomena, including Nibbana, non-self. If you die as a arahant, everything is extinguished. Your consciousness, your death consciousness, will not establish any existence anywhere. That is different between Buddhism and Hinduism, Buddhism and Jainism. Okay, any question? This one also easy, right? Easy, okay. Next one, viraga. Viraga, absence of lust. Bodhidharma. And Bhikkhu body, dispassion. But we have a problem with the word dispassion, right? In our day-to-day life, in the English usage, passion is very important. Without passion, you cannot come to class. Without passion, I cannot teach, So actually here, passion for them, me, enthusiasm, right? Enthusiasm, that is passion. But here, passion me, greed, attachment. Dispassion me, no attachment. But even though the Buddha and Arahant, even though they do not have any passion, raga, they are very energetic to do good things, to teach the Dhamma, to do for the welfare of many people. As we all know that the Buddha traveled many places for 45 years, teaching to different peoples for free, for free, very energetic. So what I mean is, they don't have any passion, raga. Here, passion means raga or attachment or greed. So Nibbana is called viraga. So I'm going to use another sutta from Samdha Nikaya. Distraction or lust, distraction or hatred, distraction or delusion, this friend is called Nibbana. Venerable Sariputta is talking to his nephew, Jambukkaraka. So Jambukkaraka asks, what is Nibbana? You are always talking Nibbana. What is Nibbana? Nibbana is the distraction of lust, raga, distraction of hatred, distraction of delusion. That's Nibbana. Now this is a very simple explanation, right? Lust, raga, greed, lobha, craving, tanha are interchangeably used in Pali Canon. They refer to Nibbana. Next one, anasawa. The taintless or free from taints. Free from 3 kinds of taints, sometimes 4 kinds of taints. Actually, these are very important. For that reason, then I will a little bit elaborate this one. According to Attasalini, the commentary of the first book called Seven Abhidhamma texts, asava means things that flow out from 6 doors or 6 sin species. So we have 3 or 4 kinds of taints. Those taints flow out from our 6 doors. When you see something, and 3 taints come out. When you hear something, taints come out. When you smell, when you touch, when you think, from these 6 doors, taints. Sometimes 3 types of taints, most of the time 3 types of taints, and sometimes 4 types of taints flow out from our 6 doors. For that reason, it is called asava. With respect to existence, it flows right up to the topmost plane of existence, immaterial sphere planes. The immaterial Brahma, they have less defilements. But even though they are Brahma, they still have taints. The taints of existence. The taints of ignorance. So when they think, especially when they think with their mind, so those taints flow out. But human being, quite clear. When you see something, one of the taints flow out. That is called asava. So with respect to existence, it flows right up to the topmost plane of existence. With respect to mind process, it flows right up to the change of lineage, Kotarapu. For those who learn Abhidhamma, you know it. After change of lineage, and you attain Magga and Phalacheda. So those taints cannot go to Magga and Phalacheda, but they can flow up to change of lineage. Change of lineage. So powerful, no? Even before the Magga and Phalacheda, they can still flow, no? So aswami, things that flows out from the 6 doors. Eye, ear, nose, tongue, the body, the mind. It also means, another meaning, it also means that things that are similar to intoxicants, like liquors, similar to intoxicants, which have been fermented for a long time. Liquor have to ferment it for a long time. Then you use a bottle to drink. Even though you throw all the liquor, but you can still smell, right? You can still smell. I want to say the smell of the liquor. Fermented for a long time. And we have 3 types of taints. So which are fermented for a long time in samsara. They're very, very difficult, very difficult. Even you're meditating, the aswa came in if you do not have a mindfulness and clear comprehension. Because those things are fermented for a long time in samsara. Therefore, it's called taints. So, Pali Canon usually mentions becoming an arahant with the attainment of the knowledge of destruction or taints. So that means only if you can destroy all type of taints, you became arahant. It is called aswakaya jnana. So this is the knowledge that Prince Siddhartha attained for the last time before he became the Buddha. If someone can destroy all the taints, he or she become arahant. So this is usually mentioned in Pali Canon. Suttas always mention 3 kinds of taints. Suttas or the suttas. The taints of sensory desire, the taints of existence, and the taints of ignorance. Then I will explain later part. So they are also 3 types of taints. This is the same sutta I will quote, Mahasachaka Sutta, where the sutta recorded how Prince Siddhartha became the Buddha. Knowing this, Four Noble Truths, seeing this, my heart was liberated from the taints, asava. Sensual desire or sensory desire, kamasava. From the taints of existence, bhavasava, and from the taints of ignorance, avijja bhava, vijjasava. So here, we have 4 types of taints according to Abhidhamma. Number 1, the taints of sensory desire. When you see with our eye, hear with our ear, smell with our nose, and taste with our tongue, and touch with our body, these are sensory desire. So we experience with our senses. When we see, sensory desire came in, no? When we hear and we enjoy, there is a lobha. So these are the taints of sensory desire. So those desires are fermented for a long time. If we do not have mindfulness and clear comprehension, this taints came in. And second one, it is greed to sensual pleasures. It is lobha according to Abhidhamma. Second one, the taints of existence. We want we have a craving for existence, especially life. We crave for human life. We crave for heavenly life and Brahma life, existence. The taints of existence. It is also greed, lobha, to existences. Number 3, the taints of ignorance, avijja sava. Not knowing is actually is. We do not know suffering as a suffering. We do not know the original suffering as the original suffering. We do not know cessation of suffering as a cessation of suffering. We do not know the path that lead to cessation of suffering. That's ignorance. Ignorance is delusion, which is not knowing Four Noble Truth. If you do not know the name of a person, it is not delusion. Only if you do not know Four Noble Truths, that's ignorance. No? If you do not know how to go to a place, it's not avijja. It's not avijja. It's very important. Not knowing Four Noble Truths is called avijja. Okay. The last one is the taints of wrong views. So we have a lot of wrong views. That's also taints. In Sutta Pitaka, and most of the places in Abhidhamma Pitaka, only the fat trees are mentioned as the asava, 3 types of asava. But in Abhidhamma Pitaka, especially Patthana and commentaries, add that one more asava, the taints of wrong views. The taints of wrong views. According to Abhidhamma, this wrong view can be added into lobha, right? Lobha. So here, what I want to say is, if someone destroying all type of taints, becomes arahant, or attain Nibbana. Next one is yogakkema. Yogakkema. The security from bondage. Security from bondage. So actually, yogakkema, the word yogakkema can be found Majjhima Nikaya, Sutta number 26. Ariya Pariyesana Sutta. Searching for the noble path. This sutta also recorded how the Buddha became arahant. How the Buddha became the Buddha. So in that sutta, we can find the word yogakkema, security from bondage. If you attain Nibbana, you are secure. You are not bound. You are not tied to anything. Normally, we are not secure. When we see something, then our mind is tied to that, something that we see, right? When we hear somebody criticize, your mind is tied to that criticism, not free from, not secure from bondage. But here, yogakkema, security from bondage. The commentary on Cakkapala Sutta explains yogakkema as Nibbana because it is secure from 4 bonds. Bonds, right? Secure from 4 bonds. Because, yoga means yoke. They are called bonds, yoga, because they yoke beings to suffering and do not allow them to escape from samsara. 4 bonds. if you have 4 balls, they will yoke you in suffering, in samsara. Here, yoga, right? Yoga may not be the same definition, but it's very similar, very similar. If you practice yoga practice, your body is born, you know? Tied to that practice. You cannot move like this. Maybe the same, you know? I don't know in other places. In Myanmar, if you meditate in meditation center, you are called yogi. The one who is tied in the meditation center, you cannot go out. You're tied or born, in that center. It's called yogi. In other words, you are tied in the meditation practice. That's called yogi. It's very beautiful terms. Yogi is the person who is tied in the meditation practice. Here, if you have 4 forms, you are tied to samsara and suffering. Number 1, karma yoga, the born of sensual desire. If you tie to sensual sensory desire, so you cannot escape. You're not secure from bondage or suffering. Bhava yoga, the born of existence. Actually, we went one type of existence, whether human existence or heavenly existence. So we are not secure from bondage. So here, attachment to rupa, 5 material realms, and arupa, attachment to immaterial realm. Because, so attachment to human realm is already taken by karma yoga, right? Attachment to sensory desire. Next one, Daithi yoga, the boundary of wrong view. We have a lot of wrong view. And Avijja yoga, the boundary of ignorance. Actually, all are the same, 4 type of things, but only the usage is different. So the reason is in Cakkapala Raja Sutta, the Buddha is talking to Pararaja, who is ploughing his field using the cows, the ox. 2 oxes are tied, yoke with the yoke, right? That in those places, the Buddha used the word yogakkema. So the Buddha used appropriate terms according to the listeners, right? According to the listeners. For that reason, we have many synonyms of Nibbana. Okay, next one, Amata, deathless. A very beautiful name about Nibbana. The destruction of lust, destruction of hatred, destruction of delusion, this is called deathless. Deathless, Amata is another name for Nibbana. So we have a very famous fast from Dhammapara. Mindfulness is the way to deathless, and mindfulness is the way to death. Those who are mindful do not die. Those who are not mindful are as if already dead. A very beautiful and also very famous verse. Because of this particular verse, King Ashoka became the Buddhist. And he heard this verse from a young Samanera, and because of that, he became Buddhist. Then he propagated Buddhism across the world, Because of that, Buddhism spread far and near. So this is a very famous verse from Dhammapara. Mindfulness is the way to deathless. So if you don't want to die, try to be mindful. Practice mindfulness, And mindfulness is the way to death. If you are not mindful, so you will die. You are dying. Those who are mindful do not die. those who are not mindful are as if they are dead. So this is a translation from the Myanmar Political Association. I don't like other translation. I choose this one, not because it's from Myanmar. Actually, the Myanmar translations, they faithfully follow commentary explanations. Sometimes, of course, sometimes if commentary is wrong, they were wrong. They will be wrong. Actually, if the commentary is right, they were right. So anyway, in this case, I like their translation. And also, I use their explanation. Amata literally means no death or deathless. It does not mean eternal life or immortality. It does not mean eternal life. The commentary says, Amata means Nibbana. It is true that Nibbana is called Amata as there is no aging, no old age, no death, because there is no birth. If you attain Nibbana, your death consciousness will not establish anywhere. There's no birth. If there's no birth, no aging, and no death. For that reason, Nibbana is called deathless. Apamaddana miyandi, those who are mindful do not die. It doesn't mean that they do not grow old or they do not die. According to commentary, the mindful people develop mindful signs. That is, cultivate insight development practice, vipassana. They soon realize magga-phala, that is Nibbana, and are no longer subject to rebirth. Therefore, whether they are in fact alive or dead, they are considered not to die. Actually, that is a metaphor. If you attain Nibbana, no rebirth. No rebirth, no aging, no death. For that reason, Nibbana is called deathless. Next one is a asankata, the unconditioned. But actually, the unprepared, Buddhadatta Mathera in his dictionary, the unconstructed by the owner. Different definition, different English translation. Asankata means the element that is not conditioned by causes, not constructed by causes, not prepared by causes, such as karma, mind, weather, food. Actually, our mind is conditioned by many causes. Now, aircon doesn't work. The weather is conditioned by mind. My mind is conditioned by the weather. Like this, So this is our mind is conditioned, sankhata. But if you attain Nibbana, whether the weather is hot or cold, not conditioned. That's asankata. And also we have another term, asankata dhatu, the unconditioned element. So this term is very important in Abhidhamma because in Dhammasangani, the first book called Seven Abhidhamma texts, Nibbana is mentioned as the asankata dhatu, the unconditioned element. There's only one word that Dhammasangani mentioned, asankata dhatu. Nibbana is mentioned as a asingata dhatu, the unconditioned element. But this one is not mentioned in the Pali dictionary. It is not mentioned in the Asingata Sanyota as well. Next one is a anatta. Actually, we have learned this one, the uninclined. Nibbana is uninclined to visible object or next lives due to the absence of inclination through craving. Normally, we have a craving. Our mind inclined to visible objects with the craving. We crave for something we see. We crave for something we hear. We crave for something we eat, So our craving, our mind inclined to the object with the craving. But of course, the mind of the Buddha, the mind of Arahant also inclined to the object, but without craving. But here, anatta, natta means inclining with the craving. Normally our mind inclined to the object, inclined to the next life with the craving. But here, if you attain Nibbana, there's no inclination to any object or to any existence with the craving. For that reason, Nibbana is called anatta, the uninclined. So this is stated in Asingata Sanyota, but not mentioned in the Pali dictionary. Maybe the other Pali dictionary overlook this time, maybe. But we also have another sutta, second discourse about Nibbana in Udana Pali. The uninclined is hard to see. Nibbana is hard to see. The truth is not easy to see. The truth also Nibbana. The uninclined also Nibbana. Nibbana is hard to see. Nibbana is not easy to see. The craving should be penetrated. Craving should be destroyed. For the one who knows and sees, there isn't any obstacle. For the one who sees the Four Noble Truths, who know the Four Noble Truths, there's no obstacle. There's no craving. They can penetrate craving. So for them, they see anatta, they see satcha. Next one is a satcha. Satcha is the truth. Four Noble Truths. Here also, Nibbana is used as a satcha. The commentary said that satcha here means Nibbana. Nibbana is the truth because it is the absolute truth. It really exists. It can never be changed from its nature, the nature of peace, the nature of tranquility. It really exists. Its ultimate realities. It is truth. For that reason, Nibbana is called satcha. Another one is ananda, the endless or the infinite. The commentary of this sutta states that instead of the word anatta, some people read ananda, but two different versions. Earlier, I used the word anatta, uninclined, but here the commentary mentioned that some people read not anatta, ananda, ananda. It means, the word ananda means no end or endless, as it has the nature of permanent state. It is permanent. The bliss of Nibbana is permanent. For that reason, it's called ananda or endless. So the word ananda is mentioned in the Pali commentary as a synonym of Nibbana but it's not mentioned in Asankata Samyutta. Just for knowledge, just for knowledge. But here also, okay. Next one is para. Para means beyond, or on the further side, beyond. So it is the same with the para. Para means the other shore, or the far shore. And Bhikkhu Bodhi, so this is a translation of Bhikkhu Bodhi. Para means the opposite, or the other shore. The opposite shore. So here, we learn in the one of the sutta in Alakatupama Sutta, Sutta number Majjhima Nikaya, Sutta number 21. So in that sutta, the Buddha gave the simile of raft, right? This side is dangerous. Need to cross over the stream. He used the raft. Then he crossed over the other shore. So the other shore is called para. The other shore is nothing but Nibbana. Nibbana is secure, safe. Samsara is not safe, a lot of suffering. If you can cross samsara and you reach the other shore, para is Nibbana. So we have a one time parakato. You may have heard of this one. The one who has gone to the other shore, the one who have gone beyond samsara. That is parakatomi. I think you have heard of this one. Yovaratam parakato bala vidya samangi. Parakato. Who has gone beyond samsara, who have gone the other shore, which is safe from all type of danger. That's Nibbana. And we have another one, it's called Paragu. Paragu. The transcender of existence. You transcend existence. You transcend. You go beyond existence. Parakato. Right? Beyond existence. Actually, this is a very beautiful sutta. For the learned, one who has comprehended the Dhamma, who clearly see this world and the next. Desirable things do not provoke his mind. Desirable things, pleasant things, do not provoke his mind. And toward the undesirable, he has no aversion. If there is unpleasant things, no aversion. Pleasant things, no lobha, no like, For him, attraction and repulsion no more exists. There's no lobha, no dosa, no like and no dislike. Both have been extinguished, Nibbana. Brought to an end, have been known the death-free, sorrowless state, the transcender of existence. Paragu. So that means the one who have gone the other shore, the same thing. Transcends. Pawasa here, pawa. Pawasa paragu, transcender of existence, rightly understands. If you don't have like and dislike, whether it is pleasant or unpleasant, if you don't have dosa and lobha, because you don't have a moha, right? If you do not have a moha, that means you have a wisdom. If you have a wisdom, panya, you don't have any lobha or dosa, then you transcend existence. No more existence. That will be the end of samsara. For that reason, parami, the other shore. Parami, it refers to Nibbana. Nibbana. A very beautiful term. Okay, then next one, I will quote Ariya Pariyesana Sutta, the novel search. The novel search. Majjhima Nikaya, Sutta number 26, para number 90. This Dhamma that I have attained is profound because the Buddha is requested. The Buddha is thinking after becoming the Buddha, after attaining enlightenment. This Dhamma that I have attained is profound, hard to see. Dodasa, hard to see is another name for Nibbana. And hard to understand and peaceful. Peace is another name for Nibbana, Santa. And sublime, Panida. Sublime is another name for Nibbana. Unattainable by mere reasoning. Just mere reasoning, it doesn't work. Need to practice by yourself. And Sapte, Nipuna. Sapte is another name for Nibbana. To be experienced by the wise. By the wise. So these are synonyms of Nibbana. Number one, Nipuna, the Sapte. Nibbana is Sapte. Not easy to see. Then Sutotasa, the very difficult thing to see. Very difficult to see. Panida, the sublime. Sanda, the peaceful. Peace. Achachara, an aging. But of course, this is similar to deathless. If there's no path, no aging. Duva, the stable. If you take Nibbana, your happiness will be stable. Apalokita, not avalokita swara. Apalokita, the end disintegrating, permanent, permanent. Anidasana, the unmanifested. So that means thing that cannot be seen. Thing that cannot be seen. You cannot see Nibbana with your mind, with your eye, with your eye. Cannot see. You have to experience with your mind. Not normal mind, Magga and Phalacheta. Next one is Akata, unmade or uncreated. The uncreated. Nibbana is not created by anything, not any causes. Akata. The next one, Nippapancha. Nippapancha. The unproliferated. The unproliferated. So Papancha means proliferation. So we have three types of Papancha. So those Papancha proliferate problem and suffering and samsara. Craving proliferate our suffering. Conceit, mana, proliferate our suffering, our samsara. Wrong view, proliferate. So they proliferate and prolong the sensory life and sufferings. The absence of proliferation by craving, conceit, and wrong view is called Nippapancha. The unproliferated. So that means Nibbana. If you attain Nibbana, you don't have proliferation, right? Proliferation. Next one is called Siva, the auspicious Bhikkhu body, a safe place, and Nibbana, Bhikkhudata, happiness and bliss. So actually, I use 3 terms, but this is a very controversial term to translate. For me, I prefer bliss, translated by T.W. Davis, bliss. Nibbana is Siva or bliss. I think, where we go? Kema, secure. Bhikkhu Bodhi translates as secure. But in Mangala Sutta, so we have the word Asokan Vidajan Keman Etan Mangala Modaman. It one's mind is sorrowless, Asoka, stainless, Vimala, and secure, Kema. Secure me, full of security. If you attain Nibbana, you're secure from any danger. It's not disturbed when affected by orderly vicissitudes. That is higher blessing, the Mangala Sutta. Kema is another name for Nibbana. Next one, Acharya, the wonderful. Of course, Nibbana is wonderful. Buddha, the amazing. It's not mentioned in the Pali dictionary, but it is mentioned in Asangata Sanyota. Anitika, an alien, the alien. Anitika Dhamma, the alien state. Apyapacha, the unafflicted. The unafflicted. Dipa, the islands. Nibbana is the islands where all danger is secure. Lena, the shadow. Nibbana is the shadow from the place. There's no any suffering. Dana, the silence, silence. Sarana, the refuge. Parayana, the destination. Parayana. Arupa, without form or body. It's not Arupa realm. Arupa, Nibbana is Arupa, not form. In other words, Nibbana is called Nama. Akra, the imperishable or eternal. That is Nibbana. This is a translation of Uo Se, the Burmese scholar. Then we water, the absence of water or absence of samsara. Water means going round and round. If you have a craving, then you do sankhara, karma. If you have a karma, then you were born in samsara, right? Vipaka, resultant. Then because of that, you create again, going around and round, right? Going around and round. We have a kilesa vata, round thought defilements, ignorance, craving, and clinging. Actually, we have learned in the Nibbana origination, right? Defilement, round. Then because of that, we do karma, round or karma formation or karma existence. Because of that, we were born. As a result of that, we Vipaka water. Now, if we were born and we have a defilements again, and we do karma again, because of karma, we were born again. It's going round and round, right? We water is Nibbana. Kevala, the unique. Apavaga, completion. Para, the object of Magamfala. Achuda, no passing away. or everlasting. Ultra, supreme, second to none. Ultra, supreme. Santi, peace, tranquility, and coolness. So actually, regarding with the Santi, peace, in Dhammapra, there is no fire like a lust. There is no evil like a hatred. There is no ill like the barrier of aggregates. There is no happiness higher than peace, higher than Nibbana. But here, second less is called Soti. Soti is purity or purification. Another one is Visuddhi, purity and purification. These are another name for Nibbana. Soti, purity or purification. Visuddhi, purity or purification. Both Soti and Visuddhi literally means purity. In Visuddhimagga, Venerable Buddhaghosa defined the word Visuddhi as a Nibbana, Magga as the path. So what are the path? Sila, Samadhi, Panya are the path that lead to Nibbana. Visuddhi Magga. Visuddhi means Nibbana. Magga means the path or the way. If you want to attain Visuddhi or Nibbana, you have to walk on the path. Sila, Samadhi, Panya. In Visuddhimagga, in Mahasatipatthana Sutta, the Buddha used the word Visuddhi to refer to Nibbana. Visuddhi. So the path is shown at the mindfulness establishing four foundations. The path is mindfulness, sati, establishing four foundations. Kaya, the body, feeling, vedana, the mind, vinyasa, chaita, and phenomena, dhamma. Mindfulness, establishing four foundations. So there is only one way to attain Nibbana. There is only one way to attain Nibbana. It is the Noble Eightfold Path, spearheaded by mindfulness, headed by mindfulness. Noble Eightfold Path. There's only one way to go to Nibbana. You cannot go to Nibbana by traveling with your foot. You cannot see Nibbana with your eye. There's only one way to attain Nibbana. That is the Noble Eightfold Path, spearheaded by mindfulness. So this is what the Buddha mentioned in Satipatthana Sutta. This is only one way bhikkhus, for the purification of beings. Visuddhi. Visuddhi is nothing but Nibbana. Then the overcoming of sorrow and lamentation. If you want to overcome sorrow and lamentation, there's only one way. Mindfulness, establishing four foundations. For the disappearance of pain and grief. If you don't want pain and grief, only one way. For the reaching of the noble path, Magga and Phala. For the realization of Nibbana, namely four foundations of mindfulness. Actually, here, only one way me for the Noble Eightfold Path, headed by mindfulness. The Noble Eightfold Path, headed by mindfulness. Next week, we will learn the Noble Eightfold Path. Any question? Any question? Okay.
Bhante. It's very difficult to remember all the synonyms.
I also do not remember.
But there's some that you have mentioned which I find difficult to reconcile with anisha, impermanence.
Yeah.
And I've marked them when you said something is unperishable, that something is everlasting. You know, and then something is undisintegrating. I mean, this really goes against impermanence.
Yeah.
Would you?
It seemed to be, how to say, contradict.
Yes.
But here, we are talking about based on ultimate realities. Nibbana is ultimate realities. That is reality that exists. It is not impermanent, it is permanent. But if we say it is permanent, it is not like a soul. Something that, how to say, something that exists, some entity, like an entity that exists. Nibbana is not an entity, not entity. It really exists, but the moment you attain Magga and Phalaccheda, you experience that place. But we have a lot of people here. Then we practice meditation at the same time. Then we attain Magga and Phalaccheda at the same time. Then we experience the bliss of Nibbana at the same time. It really exists. It is not, it is not impermanent. The moment you attain Nibbana, the moment you attain Magga and Phalaccheda, you can experience anytime. In that sense, everlasting, ever exist. But of course, don't confuse with the nature of impermanence. The nature of impermanence means 5 aggregate are impermanence. If we realize 5 aggregate are impermanence, then we have a wisdom. Based on that wisdom, we wipe out our ignorance. If there's no ignorance, we don't have a lobha and dosa. Lobha and dosa, 2 are the 5 aggregate. If we do not have lobha, dosa, moha, at that moment, we experience the bliss of Nibbana. But here, everlasting, it exists. It exists, not exists anywhere, but the moment we have Magga and Phalaccheda, the moment we extinguish lobha, dosa, moha, we can experience the bliss of Nibbana. It's not, how to say, for that reason, we always say that everything is impermanent, but Nibbana is permanent. It doesn't mean, it exists. How to say, it is not a permanent entity, permanent entity. We can say, I will give a very good example. Sometimes we're very happy, right? We are very happy. Can you allocate where is happiness? No, we cannot allocate. But of course, in our case, happiness is a state of mind. It is impermanent. For that reason, our happiness lasts for a few time, then it disappears. So Nibbana, the bliss of Nibbana is just like a happiness. But happiness is a state of mind, is subject to impermanent. But Nibbana is a, how to say, like a happiness, but that happiness, if you attain that happiness, it does not die. It does not die. But we cannot say where Nibbana is, where Nibbana is. Just like we cannot say where happiness is. You are happy right now, where's your happiness? Like this. I think it's living. I mean, this is very profound. then hard to understand, hard to understand. One more question? Okay.
Bhante, actually my question is related to the question that was just asked by Brother ST.
Okay.
If Nibbana is defined as the unconditioned, I was just wondering, I was sitting there listening, why are there so many terms to describe the unconditioned? That's number one. Number two, Nibbana, one of the synonyms you gave was the uninclined. Actually, in order to achieve Nibbana, we first have to be inclined. We first have to be inclined towards the Noble Eightfold Path, so that we incline our minds towards Nibbana. Then we can realize the uninclined.
Yeah. Second question, you're right. We have to incline to, our mind have to incline to the Nibbana and incline to the Four Noble Truths, the Noble Eightfold Path, then we attain and inclined. But here, incline here does not incline with the craving. We have to use the word craving, it's very important. Of course, the Buddha and Arahant also, their mind inclined to the object without craving. Regarding with we have many terms, many synonyms of Nibbana. The reason is different people and different disposition, different mind. Some people understand right away by using the word Nibbana. Some people understand right away by understanding Nibbuddhi, and some understand Yogakkema, the security from bondage, like this. So it depends on the conditions, time, and the people. So the Buddha used different terms. And Arahant also, they use different terms. For that reason, we have a lot of synonyms of Nibbana. But here, even though we have a lot of synonyms, I want you to remember only one definition. In our mind, we have a lot of fires. If you extinguish those fires, you experience the bliss of Nibbana. That's the most important. Definition of the word Nibbana. So to extinguish all these fires, we have to walk on the path. There's only one way to attain, to extinguish those fires, that is mindfulness. The Noble Eightfold Path headed by mindfulness. So we are practicing meditations because of that. We develop mindfulness. In such a way, we can extinguish fires in our heart. Gradually, it will extinguish. Then it will, we attain Nibbana. No? Okay, so thank you for coming. Thank you for joining the class. I'm so happy to see many of you. And also, it is really heartening to teach, because you are consistent, always coming, and it's very encouraging to walk on this path. So next week, we will talk about the Noble Eightfold Path, which is very important for our life. Okay, so let's call it a day. Yo varadam bhavaro manu jesu sakyamuni bhagavakata kecho paragato bala vidya samangi Tan sukatan saranatamupe Ragavi ragamani chamasokan Kata mapatikulan Madhurami mamba kunan suvipatan Dhamma mimam saranatamupe mi Yatha jade nama apalamahu Chatusu susisu purisa yugesu Atacha bogala Dhammata sati Sangha mimam saranatamupe mi Sadhu, sadhu, sadhu. Thank you. Good night, everyone.